Okay, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Architectural Review Board for Monday, September 22nd, 2025 to order. I'll call the roll call. I'm Andre LaFerrier, Chairman, Ed Armstrong, Secretary, Tina Rupp, member, Denise Alec, member, Mike McGinnis, member, and Kate Caldarella, alternate. And we don't have to fill in any seats. I'll move the minutes to the end of the meeting. And then first item, what I'm going to do is for the record, we're going to remove Section 3, continued referrals, Walmart application for special exception use off the agenda. They were denied by zoning and will be coming back at a future date. Walmart will be analyzing all our notes that we talked about. It would be pointless for them to come back to us. So they're going to do an analysis and come back and reapply. So that's off the agenda for tonight. What we do have, though, are some signed applications. And the first is with Nissan of Old Saybrook is an application for certificate of zoning compliance for signs at 295 Middlesex Turnpike, map 52, lot 63-1, the B4 district. And tonight, David Hemming is here from Connecticut Sign. David, would you tell us a little bit about the project, please?
Yeah, so this is signage for what was formerly Grossman Nissan. They're changing their name to Nissan of Old Saybrook. So Grossman's coming down, which I think has already been done. And we're just going to replace it with a new Old Saybrook set of channel letters to go up on the wall, right where Grossman was.
Okay, there's not going to be any other changes in the building?
Nothing else. That's it.
Okay, how big was the Grossman sign?
I don't know how big the Grossman sign was, to be honest with you.
Okay.
This sign's a little bit bigger. I did speak with Chris, and I think she said that everything conformed to the regulations.
Okay, because actually we'll treat it as a grandfather. I'd like to see it at least the same square footage as Nissan, because Nissan sign is actually smaller by 4 3/4 square feet. It's 48.3 square feet. You're larger on this one here.
I think the Nissan sign's bigger. We didn't put these signs up originally, so I'm not sure. I can always go back and double check.
Okay, yeah, because I was just going by the dimensions that were on the building here.
Okay.
So it's a straight replacement.
Correct.
Lighting, do you want to find out about that, Ed?
Yeah, well, what kind of lighting are you going to have for the signs?
It's LED lighting, and it's going to be in a wireway, and then the whole sign will get attached to like that louver system that's existing.
And how about the Kelvin temperature of the lights? Do you know?
I think they usually come at 6,500, but we can adjust that to whatever's needed.
Yeah, well, our specs require dark sky compliance.
Yeah, sure.
So dark sky likes 3,000 Kelvin.
That's fine. We can do that.
Okay,
Okay.
that'd be good.
We've done that plenty of times before. When the faces are on it, you really can't even tell the difference. So that's not a big deal.
Good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, and if that's it, I'll take a motion.
No, actually, I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Is the Nissan sign lit?
Yes, it is.
So this is before,
This is only for this one sign that they're putting up.
I understand, but in B4, if it's a second sign, there's different limitations.
Chris already gave it its blessing.
Yeah. It's under the allowable square footage.
It's grandfathered.
Oh, even though it's being replaced?
Yeah, it's grandfathered. It's going in the same position, same size, lit, same color.
Okay,
So we can do that.
okay.
Ed, would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the sign as presented, with the only exception being to change the 6,500 Kelvin temperature to 3,000 Kelvin temperature.
Second.
Okay, Mike seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. You all said, Dave?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
And
Okay, the next item. Middlesex Orthopedic and Spine Associates.
Joe, is there anyone online that,
Possibly under
Matt?
Caroline's with my office,
Okay.
Matt is with us.
Okay. That's the only two.
Ready? All set? Yep. Okay. So for the record, Joe Wren, professional engineer of Indigo here in town. You may remember this project, we came in recently, the building is actually getting roofing on it now, 52 Spencer Plain. The site looks great, the building is really taking shape. We show on the site plan two potential future locations for building mount, that's not part of the application. Now that it's over, it's down to designs. It's kind of a little kind of curiosity, so just for informational purposes, because our focus is on the freestanding sign, but on the north face, we had to have our bump outs, right? We have a 90-foot wall, we had to have our 2-foot bump out. So we have a 2-foot bump out when it's like an entry portico. The wall of the building is actually pushed in 2 feet, but then it also comes out another 2-foot 4. So clearly the wall mounted sign on that north side wants to be on the bump out, the forward bump out. But since it's more than 2 feet from the main wall, we only get to count the 20-foot for our wall area. So the sign is really small. So we're struggling with that. What do? Do we use the edges and split up the sign? It doesn't really look as nice, but you get a bigger sign.
Yeah.
So we're in that conundrum right now. We're trying to really try to figure out what to do there to get the maximum out of the sign, maximum visibility, the highway, but also make it look appropriate in this scale. So that's where we are on that. So that's not part of this application. What is part of the application is a freestanding sign. And what's the curious thing about this one is we actually need a variance for the sign, not for the size, but the height is, it doesn't specifically say it in the regulations, but how buildings are calculated and how, and I talked to Chris about it, how they're going to count the height of the sign is from the original natural grade. We have almost a 7-foot fill here. We have almost a 7-foot fill because the slope goes down and we have to level it out with the driveway. So we immediately are over, without putting any sign, we're over at the sign height. So the sign height is from that finished grade up, but the sign will still meet, visibly look like it's the right height. It's just the way that we have to measure it technically. So we're in ZBA for the height, and then also you can see how far the right-of-way, the DOT right-of-way is in. You can see it better here. It's 50 feet in from the edge of the road.
Wow.
Typically from the street line, you have to go 10 more feet further back. So that would make the 60 feet in more and more difficult to see the sign away from the street. So the other variant we're asking for is to have it within a foot of that property line. So it's just close to the road. It's still going to physically be in the here 50 feet back, which is much further than most signs, but that's as close as we can get it without going over the property. So the design of the sign, we presented this to you that has all the dimensions, materials, and the intent of the sign, if you remember the building, is to have the colors of the sign match the colors of the building. Same with the logo. So we have the gray and the blue, exactly what was reviewed and approved for on the building. So those colors were already there. They've used 3 colors, it mentions in the sign, so they have the 4th color for a future tenant, potentially to add one. The sign area was taken with a full rectangle, so they not even just break out the signs, just took the full rectangle, including the address, all the way around, and that's the 50 square feet. For lighting, we have a 1/4 inch acrylic letters. For lighting, there's an LED tray in each. You can see it best in the section. And it's not internally illuminated, it just floods the front of the sign. So there's small LED trays in each row, goes up and down, and then you can see there's a little half. So it's very small. low wattage,
Hmm.
nothing bright, nothing flashing. This is, they even provided a night view of how the two panels would look. So, Matt is, part ownership and he's online. So if you have any technical questions or questions related to the sign, one of us can try to answer.
Anybody,
Relative to the visibility issue because of the slope,
Mhm.
are you also thinking of taking some more vegetation down?
They cleared quite a bit. They had to for the DOT. So they had to clear that slope for sightline. So it's much more visible now than it's ever been in the past. The trees used to come right up to the edge of the road and it was very difficult to see in there. There was always a driveway. There used to be a little house. History says there used to be a little cow farm down there, a long time ago. Then I-95 came through Spencer Plain Road, plains, right, flat fields. The road was all the way at grade where the highway is. But then when the highway came through, they had to build the bridge to get over the highway to connect the road. So that's where that big embankment came from. So it made this property a little challenging for access.
Yeah.
So finally, after many iterations, we have something that worked and that's being built and should be a nice asset to the town. And the driveway came out really nice. If you drive into the site, it's nice and comfortable. The building presents well, full street, so it worked out really well. Now we're into the details, the signage, and we'll be back to you for the signs on the building. We just need to get your review and approval of this sign so we could advance into ZBA.
oh, that's Denise.
So I just have a visual reaction to LED and strips.
Mhm.
Can we do a gooseneck?
Matt, can you hear and see?
I can't hear that question, sorry.
I just said I have an aversion to LED strips. Can we do a gooseneck?
I am not a lighting expert by any means. I would say a gooseneck's not going to provide, off the top of my head, my first reaction would be that it's not going to provide enough like lighting from a visibility standpoint, I think the LED, I would imagine, I'm not sure if I don't think Pam is online right now who actually did the design, but I imagine that the LED fits within, all of the code. We wouldn't have presented something that's, not to code.
Well, dark sky compliant, downward, fully shielded. Is it downward?
There's an LED tray on the bottom that goes up.
It goes up.
Is that dark sky
And on the top
compliant?
That goes down. That's, if you look on the section, you can see the LED trays where they are. Yeah. But it doesn't scatter, it just sends it over the surface of the sign, and then there's a cap for the sign as well. So it's very low wattage and it's 50 feet from the road. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not very powerful. I mean, sign has to be visible. It's so far. I mean, this room's probably 25 feet. If I had to guess, it's 2 of these rooms away.
Yeah, well, yeah, I drove by the site today and looked at it.
It's far back.
And I guess my question on this is, you didn't give us an elevation to show how it's going to sit on the grade.
Mhm.
That I would have liked to have seen that because it's showing in your notes that it's actually a little over 14 and a half feet high.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking if you're elevating the base, you can't change the size of the sign. You're at maximum there. So I looked at the grade.
Mhm.
Okay, I was up by there today. I looked at the grade and don't see why you can't start with your 2 feet, at your foot, 1 foot setback. Because I'm going to just presume that CBA will allow it if in fact you adjust the sign. Because we know the site, we've talked about that in signs before.
Yeah.
So if you start at that 1 foot setback at your 2 foot base,
Yeah.
and then just go out straight and drop your base down,
Mhm.
and leave your sign level,
Mhm.
that would probably work. That would keep it from being 14 and a half feet high, because I would consider that the west side, the west end of the sign you know, would be at grade and the 96 inches that we're looking for.
I'm not sure if I understand. Right now, the grade goes down like this. Well, not right
Well,
now.
not quite that steep. I saw it kind of rounds over at the
No,
top.
this is the former original grade, and then they filled to make it more like this.
Yeah,
So this here is the 6.7 foot difference, and now we have to build our sign on top of that grade. So 6.7 plus the 8 feet is 14.7. That's how we get that.
but the actual structure is only 96 inches high.
That's correct.
Okay, how are you going to level it? Because it'd be sitting on a grade.
Yeah, but over the length of the sign, the sign's only 9 feet, so the grade doesn't change that much. Some inches, not feet.
But it's still going to be.
Well, if that's, I don't know if Matt has better feedback on that, but the driveway is not perfectly level, and the max the base could be is 2 feet.
Yeah.
So if the grade differential is 4 feet, 4 inches over that 9 feet, well then maybe the uphill side has to be 1 foot 8, and then the bottom.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just
Yeah.
taper the bottom of it, and you know, to conform to the grade, you should be fine
Right.
with that.
Yeah, we have, I mean, there's, 2 foot max for the base.
Yeah.
On there. So however, when they build the sign, however, whatever they need to do for adjustment to not exceed that 24
Yeah.
inches and not exceed the overall 8 foot,
Yeah.
that's what they do.
What's the material of the base?
She has here, I'm not sure what D/S means. Matt, do you know that? D/S
Sorry,
aluminum.
I'm having a hard time hearing. Sorry.
Material, what's the material of the
The
sign?
material of the base. I know it's aluminum, but she has D/S. Do you know what that means?
No, and I can't remember what the because I know I think with this the last iteration we provided almost like a skirt, right, Joe?
Yeah.
And so below that is going to be, I don't know if the entire sign would be like one sort of quote unquote foundation, or if it would just be built on like piers basically, and leveled to answer the previous question, make sure it's leveled across, right? And then the skirt obviously would come down, so it looks like it would be at at the appropriate grade all the way across the 9 feet, but the varying height will change sort of behind the seams, if that makes sense. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, and the 14.7 that we put on there, that's the maximum it would be. Because we went 8 feet there, but then when you come on this side of the sign, it might be 14.3 or 2 or something.
Right.
For the variance, we put the maximum on the downhill edge of the sign.
Oh, okay. So
We already
you took the
accounted-
slope
Yeah.
into account. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, it didn't really show that, in the drawing, so.
Yeah, if you look at this blow up over here, you can see it a little better.
Yeah, I looked at the contour lines, but
Yeah.
visually it's easier to just see it if there's no.
Yeah, there's the contour line you can see at that back end is around 34.
Yeah.
And we're at 40.7, so that's the
Yeah, okay.
6.7 feet, and that's the maximum that would be.
Yeah, the sign itself looks nice. I like the design of it.
It does. Do we, what about the turning off the light no later than an hour after close of business?
Yeah.
Do we enforce the amount of time?
Matt, is that okay with the tenant? Hour after close, the light would go off on a timer?
I don't know. I can't speak for them. My guess is that they're going to have a hard time with that for obvious reasons. I would also imagine from a safety standpoint, you would want some visibility on the driveway there at night.
What do you think? 3,000?
So the site,
Fine for that?
the site lights will shut off. That was part of the
Yeah.
original approval. But the sign out here, go up and down Route 1, most signs are on.
Yeah.
Most of the night, the street signs anyway. So since this is set back from the street, there are trees around. It's just a freestanding driveway sign, and it's low light on both
Yeah.
sides.
Is there any line of sight problem for outbound cars
No, because it's so far back.
so far back? So the
And
stacking
DOT
would
would
start
have never
up,
allowed
yeah.
it.
So that'd be about what, 3 cars back roughly? 3 or 4
It's
cars?
50 feet back from the edge of the road.
Yeah, it's about three cars.
About
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there should be no visibility, because I noticed that more was cleared out than when they first started, preparing the site.
Yeah, the DOT, we had to go through a DOT process. They actually wanted us to, initially, when we went to DOT, after the town approvals, they wanted us to look at putting the driveway through the
Yeah.
wetlands.
Yeah,
Is there driveway lighting?
So we, there are some street lights on there. I don't know if we have precise location. There are a couple of street lights on here. I don't think it's on this particular plan, but there were some street lights for safety and security down into the site. And those probably shut off with the other site lights, I would imagine.
Yeah.
After close. So the sign is important. It does not have a dark structure.
any other?
So the lighting will be 3,000 Kelvin.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be any brighter than
Temperature?
3000 K, Matt.
No, again,
1,200
Yeah.
tops, because they gotta watch the sign, so 1,200 would probably be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. We're used to doing the 3000 K, not
Yeah.
internally.
Yeah, and that would resolve some of the dark sky if there's any issue, but I don't think there'd be that much scope.
And it seems reasonable that if the max height of the sign from the finished grade is 96 inches, then that's
Yeah.
really, I think, the intent, I think, of the of the specs.
Yeah,
You know, because the specs call out landscaping, 96 inches max. I don't think the specs, as far as I understand, ever considered what the grade was before any construction occurred. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, the reg doesn't really mention that, but
No.
yeah, when I talked to Chris about it, she's like, yeah, that's, we kind of do that like our buildings where it's measured from the existing natural grade.
Yeah.
So in this particular case, it doesn't work.
No, yeah, because you had
We
to
would
go.
bury the sign. If we put it on the grade, it would be buried.
Right.
on the ground.
Okay. Anyone care to make a motion?
Make a motion,
Make a motion?
pass the recommendation.
Well,
I'll make a motion that, we accept the design as is, except, have the lighting be 3,000 Kelvin temperature max, and that the maximum height of the sign from the finished grade would be 96 inches.
Yeah. And, we would, recommend CBA approved plan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, put that recommendation in there too.
They weren't asking for a recommendation.
Oh, they weren't?
so-
Okay.
The favorable review is more than adequate.
Anyone get a second?
Second.
Interrupt? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moved.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just out of curiosity, you know how many square feet, Middlesex is going to occupy on the total structure?
Matt,
Yep.
Middlesex square footage of the building, are they taking like 2/3 of it?
Yeah, it's roughly 14, plus or minus 14,000 square feet. So there's about 8,000 square feet that are currently not occupied.
Yeah, so approximately 2/3.
Yeah. Yep.
Good to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe.
Okay, item C, A Salute, application for certificate of zoning compliance for signs, 309 Boston Post Road, map 42, lot 14-1, Newport District. Carmen, tell us a little more about what you're doing there. And
Sure. My daughter owns a shooter gym, which basically she has, 5 or 10 teams that compete around the country. They actually, they're getting pretty popular. This is her second location. We have a location in Madison right now. for about 3 or 4 years, has been doing great. She kind of outgrew it. We're keeping that one, taking over the old Hunter ambulance space. And, we've been working with, the Hunter people. And we got in there a couple of weeks ago. There's no signage at all anywhere, so we were just looking to put a sign in the middle of the garage door, the bay here. Not illuminated, not anything,
Thank you.
just throwing it on the wall, so I knew you'd like that.
Yes, I'll make a motion for this.
There you go. It should be pretty easy. The sign's only, it fits in the middle square there that you guys have, and that square is, I think it's 10 feet by 4.5, something like that, so
Yeah.
it's not a big sign.
No.
There is a road sign there that they had, I guess, previously, and we can't do anything with it yet because there's another business right behind us.
Oh.
And so whatever we do, we've got to do with them. We haven't really, they're never there, so we never see them. So we're gonna work on that. I'll probably come back to you guys, maybe with them. It's called Pro Turf. Steve Hinding owns it, and I went to school with him, but I haven't seen him in years, so we'll see if I can hook up with him and do something for the
Time for a
road sign.
reunion.
Yep. Perfect. So I'll come back probably for something like that, but for now, they just need some type of signage, because when you drive by that, you have no idea what it is. And,
Will you do competitions there too?
no,
Or just-
this is just a training center, so they do tumbling. We just brought in, all these, spring floors and all that stuff, repainted, put in, tore out all the carpets. It was kind of a mess. No one had been there, I don't think, for at least a couple of years, and, so we just cleaned it up, and, now it's a beautiful gym. If you ever get a chance to stop in there, it really came out nice. My daughter's a fanatic about everything sparkling for the young girls. The girls are from probably, 4 years old to 18. So the teams vary in size, and, yeah. Yep, so, that's it. That's what they're doing, and I think, the sign would help us out a great deal. Get us on the road.
Tina, have any comments on the sign?
I like the logo.
Yeah. Okay.
Lisa Lee is actually named after her husky that she got 10 years ago, named Ace. And so that name stuck, and
Okay,
so that's what we
super.
I make a motion to approve. Is that appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's right. We need to have discussion.
We need a second first.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Second, okay, discussion. No further discussion? All in favor? Salute. Good luck.
Thank you all very much.
Hope she does well.
So far, so good. Yes.
I noticed the little tiny push-in sign.
Yeah, just for they were
Cool.
just opening up, just so that somebody knew
Yeah.
that we were there.
Yes.
We had a grand opening a couple of weeks ago, and we had a sign up there temporarily, and then was waiting for us.
I'm so used to this.
Some of the students are as young as 4.
Yeah, they have minis and.
Yeah, my daughter started, I think 3 in California, yeah.
And humbling,
Love
doing
it.
everything. She's crazy with this stuff.
Wow.
And so that's so great.
Yeah,
Kids need that.
it's great with it. So stop in anytime. It's really beautiful.
We need adult tumbling, actually.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you guys
Get
very
my
much.
age, you'll
Pleasure
tumble.
meeting you.
Good
Yeah,
night.
take care.
Good night now.
All right.
My granddaughter's 4.
Oh, yeah.
Her there.
Yeah. Yeah.
She'd love it.
And it's great. It's in Old Saybrook, because
Yeah.
I always had to go to like Deep River
Huh.
and stuff.
So cool.
Wow.
Yeah. that's
Can I
good.
ask questions off the record?
Well, we need
to finish
the minutes first.
Yeah, after the minutes at the end here, because we want to, next, I'll make a motion to, accept the minutes, as presented without objection. And enter those in the record. And we can move on.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Fine.
Okay, so moved. Okay,
Okay, cool. So last, oh,
Well,
after it's,
yeah, you need to.
yeah, what we'll do is I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Favor? Right, okay, so we're adjourned.